Hi, welcome to Baby Narc. Brian is getting a heavy dose of karma. I mean, we all do, but when you're a narcissist and you continually fuck people over, you've got to know that some bad shit is coming. Of course, narcissists don't see it that way, and of course they think that, oh, everything is happening to me, poor me, I don't know why, and I think they really don't know why. So, okay, let me try to piece this together and remember exactly what's going on. I haven't seen him in over a month now. Now we have talked on the phone and no, actually, what am I talking about? No, I haven't seen him in months. Yeah, we've just talked on the phone a lot. And, him trying to use me. Since I talked to him a couple months ago when he wanted my base, here's what's been happening. His truck broke down and he had to get work done on it. And I don't know, his stories never match up. So his mother has always been okay, apparently, with him borrowing her car. And, the Mercedes that he's so embarrassed about because, you're not supposed to act like you have nice things, whatever. He's borrowed her car before to work, so I don't know why she wouldn't let him this time. I don't know what the deal was. But his truck breaks down and he couldn't work for, almost a week. And I'm one of these kind of people where if my car was broken down, I would figure out some way to get to work so I'd have money to get my car fixed. Yes, I realize he works out of a vehicle. It's not like he can, get people to drop him off at work. He would have to borrow some sort of a car, but I don't care. Rent a car. Steal one. No, I'm just kidding. Something, whatever. So he's off work for almost a week. And somehow he got the couple of $1,000s that it cost to get his truck fixed. I'm sure he probably got that from his mother, which, of course, she's a raging narcissist and a cuckoo crazy bird. So maybe in her fucked up mind, she would give him the money to get his truck fixed, but not let him borrow her car so that he can work to make more money. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so the truck issue happens. Then, now he doesn't know that I know this, but because he puts all of his business out on social media, I saw a video, and actually I wasn't even really stalking him at the time. I don't even stalk him a lot on social media, but for some reason I just happened across this video, and it's him in his front yard with a locksmith. And of course, he's filming the whole thing. Weird. And he had, I guess, lost the keys to his truck. So in the video, he's saying to his boss, I'm just running late. This is why I'm filming this, to prove to you that I can't find my key. The locksmith is here. I'm going to get there as soon as I can. Now, here's a little problem. Not that I've never lied to a boss and, cooked up some story as to why I can't get to work or why I'm late. I mean, we all do that shit. But I don't lie to my boss on a regular basis where I need to, when I'm not lying, to film proof to prove I'm not lying this time. Okay, so that's weird in itself. Everything about him and everything about his stories and everything about the events of just an average day in the life of Brian, it's always convoluted. Like there's always something, always something, always something. So I see this video on social media. Of course, I do not mention it to him because, one, I don't want him to know that I see shit, and because that makes me look crazy, and then it makes me think I am crazy. Plus, I just no, it's more drama. So I never say anything to him about it. So when we've been talking the past few days, reluctantly, I did not want to. He had ghosted me, and I kind of thought we were done. Of course, you're never done with a narcissist. They are in your life. They are like fucking bed bugs. You cannot get rid of them unless you burn the house down. So, yeah, I'm never going to get rid of this fool. But nevertheless, at least I thought that I was on an extended break. But I guess not. So I've been talking to him. So past couple of days, he's been reiterating his life in the past month and all the shitty things that have happened to him. Oh, that he didn't cause at all. So he's telling me the story about this. Then he also tells me that at one point, his mom's car broke down. Now, once again, he lies, he misconstrues truth, or just, leaves things out, because everything about him is a lie in some fashion. So he, once again, I don't know. I don't know if maybe his mom's car was broken down during his truck being broken down, and that's why he couldn't borrow it to work. I don't know. He didn't reveal that, and I didn't ask. I just listened to him go blah, 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 blah about the whole thing. But nevertheless, at some point, her car was broken down. Okay. And of course, she probably couldn't fix her car because she gave him money to fix his truck. I don't know. Okay, then... Okay, this is another weird, convoluted thing. He tells me that this guy that he works with... Let me see if I can get this straight. I didn't really see, that's another thing about his stories. I find myself usually... when someone tells you a story, they tell you the story, and you're perfectly clear about what they just said, or they allow you to ask a question, and then it's straightened out, and it's clear, blah, blah, blah. But with his stories, I find myself almost always having to sit there and still piece things together because there's missing information, and shit doesn't match up. And it's very convoluted, and, he's so manic that, he's in the middle of telling me one thing and he starts another subject. I mean, I know I do that a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. So, from what I gather, this guy that he works with was giving away free shit to, I guess, some friends or something under Brian's, employee code or something. And how he found out was he came in the store, because, he's a delivery driver, so he's not in the store all night long. He's in and out of the store all night long. But this person, who's actually one of his managers, I guess more like a assistant kind of thing, or night manager, whatever. Not the GM, but he comes in the store, and there's some people in there, and he says something to the guy, and the guy kind of corrects him in a weird sort of, it was weird. It was all weird. But apparently, so I guess when those people left, I guess Brian had said to the guy, he says, "No, I'm Brian." And I guess the guy got all weird. And then when those people left, the guy starts yelling at Brian, saying, "Don't ever correct me in front of people again, blah, 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 blah." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" So I guess what had happened is this manager told those people that he was Brian. Weird. Man, I mean, everybody in Brian's life is just a shady motherfucker, man. So, I guess this had been going on, and I guess he was doing some other weird stuff with Brian's code, and I guess because he's a manager, that's how he knew the code. I don't know, weird. But apparently, Brian got in trouble with the district manager who likes him. I told you many videos ago about all the trouble that Brian's had, but he still maintains that job, just gets moved store to store because the district manager really, really likes him. And he's like this good Christian man, and he feels sorry for Brian, because we all do. You probably do at this point. So he gets in trouble with this whole thing somehow. But then here's where Brian fucked up. So the district manager had called Brian, I guess, to discuss the issue further, because Brian's such a fucking, not just a crazy person, not just a narcissist, but a bratty little kid, and doesn't handle situations. He refuses to handle situations. He does. He refuses. I mean, if he accidentally, which he does all the time, accidentally dropped his cigarettes on his jeans and it actually started smoking, he would take the jeans off and throw them and let them burn to the ground instead of just putting out the cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Like he does not handle any type of issue whatsoever. He refuses to. So I guess this district manager called him to discuss the issue further, and it probably would have helped him out, because if Brian really didn't do anything wrong, which I don't know, but if it really is true that Brian didn't do anything wrong and his manager was doing some shady shit, if Brian would have just spoken with the district manager, he could have worked the whole thing out and, whatever. So I guess the district manager tries to get a hold of Brian. Brian won't answer the phone, won't text him back, kind of blows him off. Well, it pissed that district manager off, who's basically Brian's only freaking ally up at this place at this point. He blew him off, and it pissed the guy off. And so Brian's hours got cut. Like real bad. So that happened. Then, now he did not tell me this, and I did not mention it, but I know all about it because of my stalking. Shitmantha has departed from her fiance, Sean. She's living in some other motel. Now, I don't know if she's living with another guy. Probably at this moment she probably is, because this happened all during this month, because, she always has to have a man to take care of her. So, they broke up. And how I found out about this was Brian put some videos up, not so much like love songs necessarily to and about her, but basically being like, you're ruining your life, you're going to end up dead, you're a drug addict, blah, blah, blah. But, he writes lyrics, so, I mean, it sounds better in song, but, yeah. So, yeah. So some shit has gone down with Shitmantha. Real bad. And, he's in love with her. So, and I know the feeling of, when bad shit is going on with Brian, it hurts me, which it shouldn't. I should just forget this fool. I wish I could go get memory erase at a surgeon or something. I don't know. So now, of course, that was not in the story at all, but I know it to be true. Then let's see what else happened. Oh, I totally forgot to tell you this part. Now, I knew about this. This actually happened. So this has all been like a month that he's kind of disappeared on me. But about a week before that, so a month and a week ago, he called me up and he posted all over Instagram pictures of him at the dentist, because once again, he has to make his whole life public. And yeah, I mean, I know I'm doing that with these videos, but I'm doing this two reasons. It's cathartic for me to kind of process this out loud of what's going on with me. And then I'm in the hopes of that is that someone will watch these videos and be like, ooh, that's kind of like my situation. And I'm not alone in this. And wow, I'm not crazy. I really am dealing with a narcissist, blah, 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 blah. But he puts his business out there all the time. I'm surprised he doesn't film himself, on the toilet, Like, it's weird. I've never run across anybody like this in my whole life. And I have been around famous and quasi-famous people, and they do not act like this. It's weird. It's mind-boggling, honestly. So he'd put all over Instagram all these pictures of him at the dentist. And I know it sounds mean coming from me, but how I truly feel deep down inside is nothing but love and concern for him. But I'm so frustrated, so when I make these videos, it comes out as, yeah, and another thing about this piece of shit, he's fucking gross, So I know it sounds like that, but I'm just going to say it. He had posted a picture of his x-rays of, he doesn't have any teeth. I just would not do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I don't even like when I lay down my hoodie on a chair at like work or something with the tag that shows the size of it. I don't even want people to know what size clothes I'm wearing. Like I don't do shit like that, But he's got these pictures of his x-ray, and of course, it shows that he has no teeth. I mean, it's just, whatever. So I guess what had happened, well, not I guess, this is what happened. He was in his garage jamming with Clint, and they were working on some music, and Brian moved, because he's all fucked up. He moved kind of funny and tripped over some of the chords of their guitars and busted his ass. He fell, and I mean, thank God, praise God, he didn't actually get hurt. But I guess he in the interim of falling, his fake dentures like flew out of his mouth, which that's another thing. How do you, okay, I mean, I have teeth issues, but like I don't have dentures, so I don't know. I don't know, but don't you, oops, let me move the camera so it's not so bright. There, don't you use like polygrip or something? I mean, don't you put something in there to keep them in your mouth? I mean, now I've had retainers, so they like lock in, but, and I know if you don't have teeth, I mean, I get it, but like, really, like, you falling would make your teeth like literally like jettisoned out of your mouth. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he probably, whatever I don't know if it's called that, but he probably didn't put any in, he probably, once again, because everything he does is fucked up. He's lazy. So he probably didn't have any of that, bonding stuff in there. And then that happened. And then one of, because he's got two sets of dentures, and, listen, honestly, and I know I keep always saying this, the one good thing is there's many drug addicts who don't have any teeth at all, or have some and they're all fucked up and rotted, and they don't do anything about it. Now, of course, many people, it's because they can't afford it, don't have insurance, or, whatever. And I don't even know if insurance covers it. I don't know, but, I know that some people just wish they would if they could, and just can't. But then there's many people who just don't. They're like, I don't, fuck it, So, like, the fact that he would do whatever it took, of course, probably borrow money from his parents, but nevertheless, at least if you're going to rip your parents off, at least it should be for something like that. So at least he did, at least he did that. But, if you've got a medical issue, then you have to handle it correctly. You can't just, like have dentures and not do what you're supposed to be doing with them. So they fly out of his mouth, and I guess the bottom part, they fucking broke. So there's another expense. Okay. Then he gets in some sort of argument with Clint, or no, that's not true. Actually, what had happened was Brian was at Clint's house jamming, and I guess there was some altercation with Clint's wife. And I guess she was mad that they were jamming, whatever. Now, here's how Brian tells the story. Yeah, she knows we're trying to get this band together, and she's just like, she just wanted attention, and she was like, could y'all stop, I gotta go to bed, blah, 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 and I don't, that's the thing with you women, because, he wanted to lump me, as he's telling me this, he wanted to gouge me somehow. You women just don't fucking understand, you just, and I'm like, how fucking dare you? I have been the absolute most supportive, not just woman, but person your whole fucking life to help you with your music, aside from his mom a little bit, and his dad too a little bit. Actually, okay, I'll tell you something in a minute. So he, he, whatever. So I'm just like listening. I'm just like, God, I fucking hate you. So that's how Brian tells the story. But knowing him, here's what I bet happened. I bet he was over at their house, and, she has a job, and so does Clint, and not night jobs. I think she's like a nurse or something. I don't know, something. And then Clint, I don't know what but they have like normal, day jobs. So I'm sure what happened was, I'm sure this wasn't, 8 p.m. that she's being like, get the fuck out of here. I'm sure this was probably 4 a.m., on a weekday. It's like he's pissed off at Clint's wife at their house jamming because she's like, hey, can y'all call it a night, kind of thing. So he writes this nasty song about her, and he doesn't say her name in it, but he's like, oh, I want to show you the song that I wrote about her. I'm just like, God. And then he doesn't say her name, and then also within the song, he's like, you women kind of thing too. I'm just like, God, fuck you. How dare you get into an altercation with her? How dare you write a song about her and put it on your public YouTube channel, and then talk about you women and then show it to me? Fuck you. And it's not like he forgot. Listen, I'll tell you something. He has selective memory, but when it comes to lyrics that he has written, he will remember every single word, every single letter of every word, every single period or schwa that he's written until the end of time. So he knew that song had you women in there. And then he's shown it to me because once again, he wants to dig at me for no reason whatsoever. It wasn't like I'm friends with her. It wasn't like I was like defending her. Nothing. I'm just sitting there listening. I'm just listening. I didn't even say anything because I'm actually, and that's true because I was shocked at all the shit that's been happening to him. I'm just like, geez. So there might have been something else. I might think of it here in a minute, but he's had a shit ton of bad shit happen. And I almost said, damn, man, get karma. I almost said it. But what I said instead is, well, it's like you're cursed. And he goes, well, so crazy that you would say that because I was just telling my mom the other day that I'm wondering if I'm cursed or my truck is cursed. So it's like, oh, that's the other thing. Okay, another thing that happened. So when he lost his key and had to call the locksmith, they ended up having to put a new ignition in it. So that was, a few $100s, maybe $1,000, who knows? I mean, I think everything he does is like, minimum is $1,000, capped at $2,000, who knows? But every single thing that he fucks up is very expensive. He's a very expensive person. And then guess what? After they put that new ignition in, the next day, He finds his keys. And he's such a fucking lying sack of shit. But he won't lie when he should. He told his mom that he found those keys. Now, see, and you know what? That's a way to hurt her in some sort of way. I'm no liar, but of course we all lie. And if I would have created that whole fucking drama and then found those keys, I would never have told her. Not just so she don't yell at me, but also because I'm like, dude, you just spent more money on me, unnecessarily. I would have never told her I found those keys. I'll fucking get those keys and throw them in a dumpster somewhere, But he had to tell her because he's a dick, Okay. So, I really did start thinking about it. And I started thinking, it's not just the karma that, he deserves. When you do shitty things to people on the regular, bad shit is going to happen to you. That is the law of the universe. And thank you, God, for making that the law of the universe. Even if it affects me, even if I get punished for shit, I'm fine with it. Me getting punished for things quickly teaches me a lesson and reminds me not to be a dickhead. So I appreciate it. Thank you, God. So then I started thinking, I will say this a bajillion times. This whole narcissism thing is a spiritual attack. And it's a spiritual attack on the narcissist from demonic entities, whatever you want to call them. And it's a spiritual attack on anyone who deals with that narcissist. And, I think maybe he kind of is cursed. So I started thinking about it, and I told him all this too. I mean, not that part. No, I didn't do that. But I started saying, do you have anybody in your life who is, obviously got a lot of negative people in your life, and I said that too, but so do you have anybody who's into like witchcraft or any kind of like candle magic or sex magic or just, doing like ritual? Do you have anybody in your life like that? It's like, no, I don't think so, whatever. And so I kept at it. I said, because here's what I'm thinking. I've never met Samantha, but he's told me a lot of bad things about her, how she is with people. And she's a total junkie. And she's she lives out of motels and sleeps with men for drugs and money. Basically a prostitute. And, I'm just wondering. And, so another thing that I asked him, I said, God, when did all of this shit start? It's like, well, honestly, it started around the day that guy was using my code at work. I said, well, okay, that's weird. And, like, what's he into, And he's like, well, I don't know. And then he, I couldn't talk about the Samantha thing because I don't want him to know. But about a week before he is saying this timeline of everything bad happening, about a week before is when I saw those videos about Samantha that I can't tell him about. And I'm just wondering, and because now she's broken up with that guy, now she's living in some other motel. Is she into some shit? And so I did say that part, because I was like, because he kind of kept thinking that everything revolved around the dude at work. But I said, you hang around with not only addicts, but dealers. And, who do you have around? And, he kind of wouldn't answer. And I said, is Samantha into some shit? And of course, he was like, oh, I don't talk about that. Or he didn't say I want to talk about it because that would mean like, oh, she is. But he said something, he blew me off, whatever. Because, in his mind, he's thinking, oh, you just don't like her. You're jealous of her, whatever. But seriously. And something else? You don't have to freaking dress up in a freaking red cape with a hood on it and in a pentagram and freaking dripping black candle wax on the ground and doing rituals and speaking backwards and shit just to call in demons and stuff. Just being a shitty fucking drug dealing, horrible, evil person. That's all it takes, really, And he's got nothing but complete garbage for people in his life. So, all of that negativity, man, and so I told him, I said, a long time ago I had a girl in my life, my best friend kind of thing, and she wasn't into anything weird that I know of, but she was a really dark energy kind of person. And I'm telling you, in the time that I was around her, bad things happened to her, bad things happened to me, bad things happened to her boyfriend, bad things happened to another one of our friends. Like, it was a lot of weird shit. And then when I got rid of her from my life, boom, immediately everything stopped, at least for me. And so I'm telling you, when you have bad people around you, they bring negative energy, and the byproduct of that is bad events. And so, anyway. Okay. So, cut to. He, we're kind of getting along, talking just on the phone, about all this stuff because, he's got problems. He loves drama, and he loves to talk about his drama, and he loves anybody who'll listen to him. So we're getting along great. The perfect scenario for him. Not so much for me because it's boring and it's negative, gives me bad feelings. It's like I want to talk about good stuff. I want to go do good stuff, but no. So whatever. So he's all elated that I'm listening to his shit. Okay, so he I was on his Facebook page. He's made a new one now. Oh my God, what is it, 75? And I'm a friend on it, and then he's got a couple of friends on there, and blah, blah, blah. And he, all of a sudden, he's got this, and because I'm looking at it, I don't trust him. And I have good reason to not trust him. Some chick's picture pops up, new friend, and you could tell that this was some sort of like Insta model or porn person, a shirt on but no bra, nipples showing, huge boobs, sexy whatever. And not to say that that's a thing, because I do shit like that. Well, not like that quite exactly, but what I'm saying. We all take sexy pictures of ourselves, but you could tell that this was something. So I click on it, on that picture, and I'll be damned, he had been writing stuff on this girl's picture. Sexy, hot, wow, nice, hello, yes, whatever, whatever. So I screenshot all that, and I send it to him. And he's real slow about reading stuff or listening to anything that I send him. And so I had sent him something else before that, and he responded to it, still talking, like nice, whatever. And then he saw that, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? So we get into it. Oh, actually, that's not true. So he starts lying and saying, I don't know what the fuck that is. Well, I don't have a new page. Just lying out his fucking ass. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have a new page? That's how we're talking on Messenger right now on this new account, blah, blah, blah. And so I just kept at it. Every lie, I would be like, no, this is how it is. Boom, 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 boom. I just was not fucking letting him get away with it this time. So he's like, oh, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, let me look at it. So he's like, no, that's not even me. I don't even know what that is. He continues to lie. He says, well, I've had, even more shit happen to me. I've also had all this weird shit happening to my phone past month, and getting weird alerts and weird like downloads and weird stuff that I'm not doing, and other names popping up. And he said, no, I even got a notification from Facebook that your account's been hacked. I said, okay, send me a picture of that. Well, he wouldn't. So, I just keep at it, and then, whatever. So he's like, why don't you believe me? Blah, blah. I said, okay, I tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. We're getting along. I know I always, hammer you about stuff, because that's what he had said. I'm going to go against my better judgment, and I'm going to believe you. But I'm telling you right now, if you're fucking with me, or you're lying to me, or I catch you doing something like this again, man, we are fucking done. I mean, done. No, I'm telling you, I got hacked or whatever. Okay, so about an hour later, he starts a new page. Friends me on it, whatever. So I'm just like, whatever, but here's a weird deal. I'm the only friend on it. The only one. And you know how you can, when you're friend requesting people on Facebook, it'll show that you're following somebody? He's not following anybody, just me. I knew. So what he was going to do is he's going to have his newer account open so we can fuck around on it, and then this brand spanking new, like 1 hour old account so we can talk to me on it, thinking that I'm not going to go and look, man, you don't know me very well. Okay. So the next day, he, and I didn't see any weird activity. So the next day, he starts calling me and asking me all these questions like, so I'm not trying to start a fight or anything, but how did you find that girl's picture? Were you looking through my stuff, or, how did you find it? Like, did it just pop up on your thing, or did you have to go to my thing to look at? He's trying to like extract intel out of me about how I found that girl's picture and his posts on it, which he's saying that wasn't him. And then he accidentally in the conversations, he asked me like 3 different times. He said my Facebook page, and well, that's actually really not mine. It's a fake account. Whatever. I think I laughed at one point. So I'm like, well, I said, no, I'm going to be honest with you. No, you sent me a friend request. I accepted it. And then I saw all of the pictures of your friends, and I saw, just a couple of us that are really your friends. And then all of a sudden I see this other girl's picture. I'm like, who the fuck is this? I click on her shit, and then I see all your postings. And then I caught you. That's what I said. So, you didn't catch shit. That's not even me. Whatever, he continues to lie. So this motherfucker was willing to, of course he gets pages all the time, so it's no big deal, but still, like, he will go to any lengths to hide his fucking lies. Okay. But I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let it go. So later on that night, so he was at work when he called me asking me, trying to get intel on how I saw that. He's trying to figure out how I'm doing it so we can put a stop to it, so he can continue his bullshit. So around midnight when he got home from work, I went on just to see if he was on Messenger. He was. So I click on the older Facebook page, and he had unfriended me. Then he didn't have any weird girls on there. That girl's picture was erased, whatever. He had put another music video of him playing guitar. So I'm like, really, this isn't a hacked account, and your hacker is posting your music? Come on, whatever. So I'm just like, oh my God. And he had unfriended me. And it takes, you have to click on your friend and unfriend them. It takes effort to do it. Quick, but nevertheless. So on that older. Now, it's still on the newer account of just me, the one that he was going to try to just contact me. You know what he was trying to do. Okay. Like, that would be the fake account that he would use just between me and him. And then his other account would be how he would do all of his shenanigans. So this video is about to cut off. So, just real quick, I sent him screenshots of, he had changed his profile picture, sent him screenshots of that. It also showed what time. I screenshotted a picture of the video of him playing guitar, the new friends that he had accepted, some other shit on there. He changed his birthday. I said, yeah, so you're doing all this and you fucking lied to me. You went completely out of the way to cover up your lie by telling me your account's hacked and you got to get a new phone. And you roped me into all these conversations about how you would go about trying to fix your account. You fucking worked me. You worked me, man. And you lied, just lying out of your fucking ass. And I can't fucking trust you. Then at first he keeps lying and trying to be kind of nice. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Why can't you just believe me? We're getting along so good, that. And then when I kept at it, he's like, fuck it, because he changes. Just fuck it. You're just so hard to get along with. You're just like fucking Shelly. You're like a 14-year-old girl. You don't trust me. You think I'm out cheating. You're the one who's been on dates. You're the one that goes to bars. You're the one that's been with men, blah, 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 blah. And I haven't done shit, And, so that was the end of that, except for this morning. He went on to a picture on my Facebook page of me and one of my friends who he thinks I'm dating. On that picture, because it was me and him and a couple other people, and he's like, on a date, huh? And then this is on my Facebook page. And so I replied on his post or on his comment, and I put, yeah, this was last year back in September. That's all I said. So yeah. So he's jealous. What? Oh God, what a mess. What an absolute fucking mess. So the point of this video is a two-parter. One, if you think that your narc won't get karma, trust me, honey, they are going to get a shit ton of karma. Whether they think that whether it's going to help in any sort of way where they're going to be able to sit back and look at their life from it, probably not, but they're going to get it. They're going to get a shit ton. It's going to blast in their motherfucking ugly ass face. And then the other thing is that spiritually, these narcissists, everything bad that happens to them is, yes, it's from their, shenanigans, but also it's demonic. These people are being negatively affected by supernatural negative entities that are bringing all of this chaos. And, other than a million reasons of getting away from your narcissist, other than that, just because you've got to and for your own sanity, but also dealing with these people, you're dealing with some entities on a spiritual level that I don't know if you want to deal with, or you are strong enough to deal with, or want to allow that into your life, into your aura. So anyway, okay, get away from the narcissist. They're nothing but trouble. Bye.